Hey guys, until the NBB here. Whoa, Need for Speed Rivals? That's weird. Why is he doing Need for Speed Rivals? Well, this is just background footage, but this is on the topic of Need for Speed. For those racing fans who probably already heard from multiple sources like Black Panther and so on and so forth, Need for Speed Paybacks will not have any free roaming police. And to be honest, I'm pretty bothered by it, and I kind of wanted to talk about it and give my perspective on it because, um, to be honest, I kind of consider myself very much I guess, a Need for Speed veteran, I guess you could say, mainly because I've played multiple Need for Speeds. I started playing Need for Speed High Stakes. I don't know how many of you actually played that game, and that was my first Need for Speed, and I played the first Hot Pursuit. I played the second Hot Pursuit. That was, I can't remember what year it was, but it was back in the PS2 days. Then, I played through the Undergrounds, Most Wanted, Carbon, so on and so forth. The majority. I played all the main arcade racing games. And that's mainly because I loved the thrill of being chased by the police. That's really the reason why I love Need for Speed. I love Need for Speed because there's that intensive thrill, the threat, the excitement of underground street racing, the risks that you take to win, and so on and so forth. And to me, I feel like it is a very strong letdown to hear that Payback doesn't have any free roaming police. Now, from the other YouTubers' perspective, they've talked about, hardware limitations. They've talked about the trying to make it more accessible for all players, and I get those perspectives. I mean, especially with the hardware limitations, something along the lines of maybe Ghost Games doesn't know how to program the AI into a free roaming aspect, because when you consider how many players, or in a situation where in a race and just you have difficulty understanding or how to implement them into the game without having some more issues spring up in the race, or more bugs, I guess you could say. But you really are kind of taking away a really big part of what Need for Speed is, and that's probably the biggest part that bothers me is, the police are there to be that risk, that unknown variable that could come out of nowhere at any point in races. I mean, sure, Hot Pursuit games were focused on police versus racer, so that was kind of predictable. But I'm more talking about the Most Wanted '05, the Carbon, Undercover, um, even a little bit of Most Wanted 2012, I guess. Um, those games that were more based off of the direct street racer and how the police interacted with them. They were a very strong part of the franchise. And I feel like this step back of using free roam as just a way to be free, to not even worry about the police, is just a very strong missed opportunity. Now, the aspect of, making it to a bigger audience, yeah, sure, I get it. I get that some people don't want to be chased by the police in the middle of a race, and I get that. But shouldn't there be another way to get around that? Maybe just have a setting that says turn off police during free roam or something like that, or have the option to do it, rather than just telling us, oh, they're not in the free roam aspect. You only can do them with bait crates. But they're saying that they're liking the feedback everyone's providing, so I guess that's a good thing. But I kind of want to go into the aspect of the importance of the Need for Speed police forces, mainly because the risk that they pose through multiple franchises was very real, and I guess that's what made the police much more interesting and had a lot more depth. I mean, let's go back to Most Wanted '05. Most Wanted '05 had a police force that was run by, I guess you wouldn't call them really crooked, but very, got a bad cop, good cop aspect. You got federal officers in very highly expensive vehicles, heading on taking down the blacklist racers. Very cool aspect. And then in a direct gameplay standpoint, if you get busted by the police, not only do you have to pay not a hefty fine, when you were at a lower level, yes, the fine was kind of high, But once you got high enough tier, money didn't really matter at that point in the game. Also, what just happened there? That's interesting. Anyway, sorry to sidetrack. But the police not only gave you the penalty, but you also had an impound strike. If you got 3 impound strikes, you got your car impounded. That is scary. You don't want your car that you want impounded, and there's the risk right there, the risk of losing your car based off of your mistakes. So in a way, it makes sure that you're more careful, you're more precise. Now sure, every game's gonna have the bullshit. I mean, that's what a video game's gonna do. You know, in real life there's gonna be bullshit too, but nonetheless, you know, the police were a bother. They need to be a bother. You're in a street racing stance. I mean, so it was definitely a very positive thing to make it be like, oh, you've lost your car. You possibly could lose your car. The aspect of the interaction when you're in a normal race and the police start getting on your tail, and now you have another variable to worry about. That is a very important aspect to the illegal street racing scene. You go to Carbon, it is still kind of based off the same aspect, you know, impound strikes, paying a fine, so on and so forth. Undercover, I don't remember as much, mainly because I played through Undercover, like I just zipped through it. The Undercover gameplay to me was, it wasn't that good. They changed the police a little too much. They made them a lot easier to evade, and honestly a lot stupider. And plus just the way they did things in that game just didn't make sense to me. But still based off the same aspect, the police were a major component, and I liked that. Now you go to Most Wanted 2012. 2012 is a little bit of a interesting story because this is where they start losing what the police needed to be. There's no more impound strikes. There's no problem with, you know, oh, you're gonna lose your car or something like that. To be honest, you just get busted. You lose I think your big speed point chain, and then you reset and you go on and do your bidding. There's no risk anymore. I mean, sure, it was the risk of getting busted, but police chasing just more became a side thing, a side objective, a thing that you could just go do in your free time, not something that's a part of the game. And it just seems like a strong missed opportunity, especially with this aspect of, hey, you're in a game about you have to paying the house, the mobsters, I guess, in that game. You have to pay him back, or I'm not sure exactly what the storyline is, but you know, having the aspect of having crooked cops opens up so many possibilities for the police and how they interact with you in the free world environment, and so on and so forth. And we're not going to get that. We're not going to, get the thrill of, oh shit, we might lose our car, due to the fact that the house has connections in the police force and they may be able to track us down or something like that. Like, I just don't understand why the police have been just kind of thrown under the bus in the terms of the illegal street racing scene. And having this aspect of you only being able to access them through bait crates is just, I just find it just kind of absurd, I guess. It really kind of threw my excitement from this game through a loop, personally. Yes, I'm probably gonna get it. Yes, I still want to try the police and see how they feel and everything, because they still look really cool. The Rhino unit I very much approve of. The Rhino units have been, a very key part of the franchise. I didn't really like the fact, though, that in the trailer, they didn't give a rat's ass about their co-officers. I was like, that's a little overkill, I guess, but I guess we'll go with it. It kind of reminded me of the Need for Speed movie, about how the police just literally didn't give a rat's ass about their cars, like, putting a rock into their, what was it, a Dodge Charger, and shoot their police car out into the middle of the very last race. Yeah, I didn't like that movie very much, but anyway, sidetracking again. Rhino units I totally approve of. I think that's a good addition, having that fear factor. I like how they have, the 3 different units. They've got the Crown Vic, they've got the Charger, and they've got the Corvette. Do I think they should have been more? Yes. But, I mean, I guess in the scheme of things, you're not going to see undercover vehicles in a police chase that often, so on and so forth. But, if anything. I'd love to see a variety, like, oh hey, there's Crown Vics and Chargers and Corvettes chasing me all at the same time. Not like not the heat system where when one heat condition changes, all the police in that heat, the previous heat, are like, oh, we're out of this jurisdiction now. We should all just leave. Oh, now the racers escaped. Oh, that was a bad idea. Yeah, that was so. I don't know. That must have been a hardware limitation or something. I don't really know, but have them like kind of interweave between the police forces. That would be really cool. You know, that's just. I guess that's my forte. I really want to know how they're going to use that EMP, or just the ability to just shut down your car. I wonder how that's going to work. To be honest, I don't know how. I don't see them really using it as a main tool that's going to just activate like they just show in that cutscene. I feel like it's going to be kind of like an EMP lock on. It's not going to be as, I guess, kind of scary, I guess would be the best term. So it kind of disappoints me a little bit, but if it is, then I'd be more than happy and you know, prove of that for sure. But the spike strips, roadblocks, I all approve of that. You know, they're definitely going in the right direction. That's it seems like to be the common word of Ghost Games' past two, three titles, is they're going in the right direction. Also, sidetracking again, this Viper, wow. Okay, that's dynamic police chase gameplay. A lot of people give a lot of hate on Rivals, and I get why. It's a very buggy, confusing, doesn't know what it wants to be game, but for what it's worth, I love Hot Pursuit. I love the police versus racers. Yes, the weapons are a little cheesy, but I love it, so, you know, I like Rivals in some regards. Not on a mini, but I just love being a police officer, I guess, in general, so, just to kind of sum up my thoughts here, because I'm rambling on at this point. Overall, as a Need for Speed veteran, I'm happy for how much they seem to be dedicated, and they sound like they're hearing the feedback of multiple people complaining about it, so I'm very hopeful that maybe they'll do a patch or something along those lines. That'd be very nice, and I'd approve of that. But at this point, again, just really disappointing to hear that the police are just not going to be a key part in the story, or a key part in the free roam. And the only way I'm going to see them is through bait crates or mainline story missions, and that's the other part that's going to suck. Unless they're going to have the ability to replay story missions, what if there's like an amazing police chase that you get a part of, and you want to continue going into it, but you didn't really realize that that's the only time you're going to get that amazing moment is through that story mission, and oh, it's over now. And now you're kind of like, oh, well, now I want to play it again, but keep it going longer or something along those lines. I don't know how that's going to work, really. Maybe it's just a quick time event or something stupid, but I don't know. I'm personally bothered by this. Just, I wanted police to be a much more integral part of the Need for Speed franchise, and that's just not where it seems it wants to go. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You know, from my personal opinion, I think it's a bad thing, but who knows? Maybe the police will just be, you know, just a side objective, I guess, and I guess I'll have to live with it. So, anyways, enough of me rambling. Thank you guys for listening to this video. If you want to hear more of my perspectives on gaming or stuff like that, because, I have a lot of, I guess, perceptions on stuff, but, anyways, leave a like, comment your own opinion down below. I'd love to have a conversation about what you guys think on this. Am I thinking a little too much over this? Maybe I should, you know, I guess calm myself down over it, or should we rise up against Ghost a little bit and be like, hey, we want police in free roam. Multiplayer, I guess, is another entire story. It's another entire thing for another day. But for just free roaming by yourself, I want police. So, Ghost, if you can, please, make it happen. Until then, until the NBB, signing off.